Hello. I kind of want to talk about it's been my first whole year of miniature painting. I kind of want to go over and talk about like how I didn't get stuck in a slump or this or that and talk about like some of the struggles that do come with miniature painting other than actually purchasing the minis, actually buying paint, that kind of stuff. So, as always, we shall start with the first. October 8th of 2024, I painted this mini. Now, I understand it's a little rough. It's my first ever mini, all right? Everyone starts somewhere. I keep this mini on my desk because how proud of it I truly am. Just because it's something that has started a hobby that has cost me almost $4,000 in minis alone in the first year. That number is going to dial back a little bit. Not that I can't afford it, it's more I should be a little bit wiser with my money. But that's besides the point. I I really loved painting specifically Space Marines. And I painted, I'm pretty sure I got to 70 by the time I ran into a problem. And we will talk about this specific Space Marine. Blade Guard veterans are my favorite. This guy's a little fucked up because his molding process was fucked up. Now, that wasn't on me. And I remember painting this mini. His face is a little fucked up because of the molding process, too. And I remember painting this mini and being so like, I don't want to paint minis no more. I'm pretty sure there's a couple other spots that are fucked up on him. That's why he's silver on his knees instead of gold. But I just remember painting him and being like, I don't want to do this no more. This is my last mini. I'm done painting minis after this. And it wasn't anything that I did wrong. I just wasn't having a good time with it. And this was probably 3 months into the hobby. I mean, I'd painted a bunch of Space Marines. I was like, fuck yeah, Space Marines. This is my jam. I want to continue to do this. And I got to this guy and I'm like, this fucking sucks. I don't know if I want to keep doing this, if I want to keep trying to do it. And luckily, about 2 days later, I kind of got bored and I decided, you know, I've got some Necron. Necron are cool. I got this through the Indominus Crusade box. I'm pretty sure this was a box of Blade Guard veterans that I got that was a little fucked up. This one specifically. The other ones were fine in it. And so I decided, you know what? I've got some Necrons. I didn't know what I was going to do with, so I'll paint them up. And boy, I had a fun time painting Necrons. Necrons can be some of the most relaxing things to paint because you don't have to do edge highlighting on here. I'm gonna do some whitewashing. I'll show you an example of this. This is a whitewash. It brings out bright. It like brings brighter colors and stuff. Since I'm doing a blue design for my Xenos blade and my obviously my Necrons, I will be using a whitewash instead of a dark wash like most people do. But doing metallics, like 99% metallics, so easy. Literally, easiest army to paint. This one was a little challenging because I was doing some extra stuff in it and I got his eyes and everything. But we'll talk about the most easy Necrons to paint in the world. And we'll talk about the most relaxing Necrons to paint in the world. Scarabs. Oh my god. I'm pretty sure I remember painting these, sitting back watching a TV show on the screen while I was painting these because I was just enjoying painting them. You want your scarabs painted? Send them to me. I'll fucking paint them. I love painting scarabs. They're so simple. They're just such a simplistic design and it's just okay, put color here, here. It's just two colors. It's really just two colors. There's nothing crazy about it. So scarabs, so relaxing to paint, helped me fall more in love with the hobby. Now we'll talk about something that I was afraid to paint for the longest time. I'm pretty sure I bought this a year ago in December-ish. I'm pretty sure it was winter time. This is the Riptide Battlesuit, and it is too big for my camera currently setting where it is. So we'll zoom the camera out. Yeah, you get to see my messy desk. And I will tell you, I was so intimidated to paint this mini, but look at how good it came out. Honestly, if it wasn't for the intimidation, I would have tried to paint this mini way earlier than I was prepared for. And just the way it's come out now, it looks so good. It's unbelievable. This is not even a full year of like progress. I painted this mini 2 months ago. So like August. I want to say August is when I painted this up. But I mean, all the extra line work I did was totally worth it. The more work I put into it, the more I'm like, yes, this is worth it. This is worth it. Including like the colors on his legs and such. It just became such a good mini and a fun mini. Although his torso seems to be misaligned because the glue that I had didn't want to fucking work anymore. Oh well, he's permanent like that now, so he's a little messed up. I just now kind of realized that. But if you don't if you don't look at him, if you just look at him like this, he looks perfectly fine. So we will scooch him towards the back because he is a big mini. So speaking of another big mini, we have one that I will say this is one of my best minis. This is to me a work of art. It is my artillery piece for my Krieg. Now I have this super glued down and it's just like a shot going out. I know it's a little bit reflective-y, a little bit of a matte finish probably wouldn't hurt it, but I'm kind of just not want to deal with it. There was originally 2 strands of barbed wire across this, but one broke off, and this little chain's completely loose, but it just likes to hang the way it is. And this doing, like, I did the cannon first, then this, then put the cannon where I wanted it, then did the little sandbags, and then I did each individual Kriegsmarine one at a time. And this thing turned out to be so perfect. Their backpack has wear down spots on it where it would be like lighter leather colors. And I did not do that intentionally. That was from me handling the minis. It's such a wild thing to when you're like in the middle of painting it and you're just not like, oh, this is just a mini that I'm building. It felt like I was actually doing art for once in my life. It felt like that I knew that this was the way. When I first got it finished and all put together, I'm like, oh my god, this looks amazing. I was just so happy with this. Just like I was happy with this next mini when I got it done. We'll go ahead and move some of these minis out of the way because I cannot fit all of these minis on the table. So we'll just get that one out of the way. We'll keep the Necrons though because they're fun to paint. So, oh, which one's next? We'll do this one. So eventually, my birthday came around. I'm born in April, so I'm an April birthday. And Karn and the World Eaters are my favorite. This was a lot of my first attempts on like World Eaters. Actually, I'm pretty sure Karn was my first attempt at World Eaters. And as you can see, I did a brass metallic look to him. And he looks so good. I'm so proud of this mini. This mini is such a good. Karn needs an update, but you know what? I love my little Karn guy, and he kicks ass. That power pistol is such kind of a pain to do, but and this was also the first time I used any sort of quick shade, which should be around here somewhere on my desk. But we'll set him in the back, and we'll get this out of the way, and we will talk about faces. So pretty early on in my painting career, I decided I'm going to try a helmetless head, right? I want to say Lieutenant Titus was my second helmetless head, but this Assault Intercessor Sergeant was my first. He does not have eyeballs. I've intentionally left them blank because, I mean, when you're really looking at it at that distance, I mean, even that close, you can't really tell. Other than me telling you, but this was my first attempt at facial features and everything. This mini turned out way better than I ever could have expected. His hammer broke off at one point, so that's why it's a little not square. It's I'm pretty sure I've just super glued it back on. But yeah, no, I was super happy with it eventually when I did get this done. Now, I'm pretty sure I painted this up before I started painting my Necron because this was one of the minis that I was like, okay, yep, just keep knocking them out. Just keep knocking them out. Just keep knocking them out. So we'll put him next to Karn. Karn will cut him in half. And, what next? What next? We'll go with another challenging mini. But this was not challenging to paint. This was challenging to build. So this is one of the Outriders. I really like this. This is a old leather that I used to use. Rough. That's rough. So this mini really wasn't that bad to paint. I mean, it was a lot of blue. I could do some metallics here or there. I mean, it's just a regular Ultramarine. The worst part about this mini, and you can't even see it because I was able to do it so well. This center You can kind of see it right here. The center's not squared up because there was about a 1 millimeter gap in the center of this. And no matter how much I squeezed it, I was not closing that gap. So what I ended up doing was I ended up using some green stuff and shoving it in there, flattening it out, putting it together and calling it good. I will never touch another Outrider bike in my life if it is push to fit. If they do something other than push to fit, I will get it. But if it's push to fit, never again. Never again will I use push to fit Outrider squads. That came with the Indominus box that I got and such. So, speaking of Indominus box, we'll continue with another one out of it. This was something I looked for a very long time. It is readily available now due to the Dawn of War Onslaught box, and GW has a bunch of these now available to purchase through the Honored of the chapter, I believe. And it is the Adjudicator. Now, I should have kit bashed my Adjudicator. I don't like the dumb time thing. Really, I don't. But this was kind of my first attempt at a lot of leather work. And like I tried to have leather there. I just kind of realized that's his arm. That's like the arm for his jacket. How have I never noticed that before? um, I think that's supposed to be like for his arm. Yeah, because his other side goes, okay, all right, that's weird. Anyways, but it was the first time I did like all this little stubbling stuff and all this little like metallics and stuff. There was a lot of just like little tiny work, and then his little red eyes and the half masks. I liked it. I still like this mini very much. I would give him something other than what he has in his right hand or his left hand. And oh, I like the sword, but let's position it somewhere else and give him a shoulder pauldron, please. Please, GW, I'd appreciate it. But the bright blue stands out very good. I mean, he was just fun to paint. I tried to do like some sand in the hourglass, but it just wasn't happening. But I did enjoy painting this a lot, even though it took me forever. And he will go right there. So let's talk homebrew. I do have a homebrew chapter. They do not have a name. They do not have a logo, but I know they are a World Eater successor that Belisarius Cawl was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use World Eater Gene Seed and not tell nobody. So this is the color scheme for my chapter. Now this is supposed to be a Redemptor Dreadnought that fought off demons after he was like attacked because he fought against Khorne at some point. And you can see here that this is a slightly painted over. I wanted it to like have barely see through where he used to be a World Eater Contemptor Dreadnought, but they repainted him and he's got like all these marks and rub downs and this and that, so he looks like he's all old and worn down because he's pre like Horus Heresy stuff, and he's got like all the old stuff. He's fully magnetized, by the way, so I can like straight up take this off and put on a different thing. Usually I run him with 2 chain fists and everything, but this thing was way more fun to paint than I ever expected. I 3D printed these up for him, and all these little dangly bits and chains were, from a lore perspective, was after he fought the demons, they mounted the skulls to him and they chained him up, and that's why he has a bunch of brass or bronze dangling chain around him. It's just from him being imprisoned, and my homebrew found him and set him free. So we'll set that over there, and actually we'll set him over here. Nope, we'll move this. I gotta be more decisive here, that way I can keep stuff on camera. So we'll talk another big mini. Actually, yeah, we'll talk another big mini. So I like Tyranids. I don't love them necessarily, but I like them. They're one of the ones. They're one of the factions I have. Now, Tyranids can be a giant pain. Sorry, I'm adjusting the camera. Tyranids can be a giant pain to build and paint because they're a horde army. I have 70 Termagants to still paint, 10 Bombgaunts. I've got all my Von Ryan Leapers done, but still, that's a huge amount to paint. But instead, I decided to paint this big, beautiful man. His name is Norm. That's his actual name. We call him Norm. He is Norm, the Norm Emissary. I went with Warpstone Green. It's not even Warpstone Green. It's just a green that I watered down for his brain and stuff. I don't like the blue for the Tyranids. It's very funny. I switched the colors for the Tyranids and the Necrons completely backwards. But he took me about 3 hours to do. A lot of this paint scheme was a watered down pink color. Actually, this is the color that I use. Let me shake it up. This is just literally a mixture of pink, white, and darkener of some sort. And it just came to like the desired color that I wanted it to be. And then afterwards, I hit it with a Angrax Earthshade wash to kind of darken it up some, keep some shiny spots, leave some dark spots. The I'm sorry, I said that wrong. I said that wrong. Right? I'm right when I say I said that wrong. Yeah, I'm right when I said that wrong. This pink is actually the flesh color. Let me correct myself on that. So all this flesh color is like what this is. If I remember right, the purple is actually purple, right? Yep. It's this purple specifically, and there's a bunch of war down spots on it again. Again, I handle my minis when I paint them, so I naturally create wear down spots with my fingers. It makes it look more believable that some spots are worn down, some spots are chipped away. There's white underneath it because it's fresh carapace trying to grow back. The bone was just Wraith Bone, and again, slap it all with Angrax Earthshade. I remember what I used on this. I used a wash from GW. Karenberg Crimson, I think it was the wash, and it added the weird colorization to this where it's not just purple. It's got some red, some dark spots in it. So we'll go ahead and make a spot for this guy. We'll get rid of the Necrons now. And we'll go from big mini to small mini. Because this mini is a little guy. He is just a little guy. So we have Buri Angrenson. Now, when I first saw him, I loved the Carapace thing. This is my Carapace color from my Tyranids. And I really loved the Carapace look to him. And I was like, you know what? We are going to call him Bergie. Because when I first saw him and tried to call out his name, or say his name, I called him Bergie. So he is Bergie Angrenson. This big spear, now this whole point of this was to be ruby kind of looking color. I did this with Blood for the Blood God effect. It looks so good. I'm so happy with it. It even shines. Oh, and then I did a little bit of a metallic on the inside and stuff. You can see as I'm getting through these, I'm getting better and better. Again, wear down spots because that is natural. I really think that would be natural for any wartime characters. You're going to have wear down spots in their armor and the color. And I did some stuff here. Yeah, he's got silver feet because I'm pretty sure like 90% of him's robot at this point. But yeah, even like all the small tiny details, yeah, you can see in his helmet and his hand. Those were just hard to do originally, and I didn't have them that good. But somebody told me hit it with a wash, they'll pop out, and that person was correct. So now we come to we'll do orcs first because it's Orktober. We come to a combat patrol that I was very nervous about painting because I didn't know the color scheme I wanted to do or anything. We've got orcs in this house, and I somehow came up with the great color choice of orange and blue. I know blue's lucky. I don't know what orange is, but God, does this color sleep. This color scheme slaps. I love the rust in the little areas that aren't perfect. Like his jaw's got a little bit of rust and stuff. And oh, this mini is it's so good. It's so good. The best part about it is all the rust on the white. You wouldn't think it would work that well, but it really does. And then like this is a transparent red on a white base. This helped me continue to paint too because I was so nervous on trying to paint something entirely new and have to come up with color scheme and stuff. This all came so natural. Also, that squig pupil, amazing. I'll never be able to do a second one like that again. That is perfect. And we are down to the final two, which are closer to stuff that I've painted recently. We'll do them one at a time here. We have one of the first parts of the kill team. It's from the Kill Team Indominus box, and this I was very nervous on the shoulder pauldrons, and this specifically because once you start putting silver in there and you get paint underneath it, you can't really tell what the lettering looks like, and you just gotta figure out a way to do it. So I imagine people have used washes and such, but I used this magical stuff called Panaline Accent Color Black. Now, that filled in all the black and created the lettering so well. I did it with the shoulder pauldron too. And as you can see, maybe. Okay, you can't really see it that well on this one. I'll grab the other one. As you can see those letters come out perfectly. It is amazing how well that stuff worked for this. It's not a hard thing to do. It's very simple. So there's not much craziness to these really. Death Guard's to me, Death Guard's super easy. I keep calling it Death Guard. It's Death Watch. I am so sorry. I called it Death Guard twice. So to me, Death Watch is super easy to paint because I do a lot of my base coating in black or white. I just base coated in black. This is a salamander, so he's supposed to be charcoal black. So I kept him black. He's got a little bit of shine, he's got that shiny bald head. And I gave him his red eyes, which they're known for. And honestly, it was just simply base paint it, do the shoulder pauldron, do the gun, do this, make some colors up there, do some metallics back here, do his little holster, anything else on his waist, and the rest stays black. And it was very easy. I do like the little chest piece here that he has that is silver and gold. I thought that was a really good idea when I did it. So that's really talking about most of the minis that I've painted that I struggled with and or that I found super relaxing, super inspiring. Um Thank you all for watching me in general. I appreciate you guys. We've hit 728 subs as of recording, and I'm gonna have to start looking at my spice tolerance because at 1,000 subs, I said I'd eat hot peppers and paint something spicy, mini wise, on the live stream. So I'm gonna have to get some demonettes or something and paint some demonettes, and I don't know. I'll give them away to you guys or something because I don't have any Emperor's Children or something. But I said I'd paint something spicy, and I said I'd eat something spicy. And god damn it, do I regret those words, and I regret being a man of my word because when I say it, and we inevitably hit that 1,000 subs, I'm gonna be doing it. So thank you all again so much. I will see you in the next one. Bye.